Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and today I am here with my all tea, all shade reaction video to Jela from BGC and Baddies Tell All interview. Yes, now that Baddies Midwest has wrapped and the reunion is about to air, Jela has sat down and did a very explosive interview where she tells all the behind the scenes tea that has gone on since she joined the Baddies cast. I don't want to wait any longer. Let's get right into the tea.
One of the things that floated around that people wanted me to talk about was this lawsuit that, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I get in the mess, but I don't get in the mess like that. I don't know if you had the lawsuit with Oxygen or if the twins had the lawsuit with Oxygen or all three of y'all came together and said, let's sue these motherfuckers. Could you give us some light on that? Clarification.
So the three of us were on that together.
Yes.
And
we're on the show or the lawsuit?
both.
Okay.
Me and the Claremont twins were on BGC 14 together.
Correct.
And we were on the lawsuit together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We did that together.
Okay.
So it wasn't a separate. They did one and I did one. No, we did it together.
And why was the lawsuit? What happened?
So the reason that the lawsuit came about. So at the time, you got to remember, this is 10 years ago. So I'm 25. The twins are 21.
Yeah.
They are full-time students, fashion students at the biggest fashion schools in America, in New York.
Okay.
FIT and Parsons.
Yeah. Okay.
They went to two separate schools. And so, they were in fashion school while we were filming. And then, I'm a little bit older than them. And the night that everything happened, so basically we went to the club one night and we were all supposed to go together as a group. Mm-hmm. But me and the twins got dressed and hurried up and ran outside and left the other girls inside. Well, the thing about it was that party bus sat outside for a few minutes after we already had gotten on and shut the door. So those girls, they stood in the window. They had time to still come outside. We could have fought on the bus or anything. They had time to come outside. They didn't come outside. I don't know if the producers told them not to come outside or like whatever the case may be, but they didn't come. Mm-hmm. They stayed. So we pulled off and we went out. We had a good time, and it was a little weird because usually we can't listen to music like on the Sprinter because of licensing and all of that. So they let us listen to music, and we went to the club or, we went out and they let us stay out a little bit longer past curfew. So we knew something was up, but we didn't really know what. And so when we got back to the house, long story short, as everyone knows, the other girls that were on the cast with us destroyed pretty much everything else that we had outside of the clothes on our back. Mm-hmm. When I say that, I mean like all of our belongings, clothes, shoes, jewelry, makeup, accessories, whatever you can think of. They took it upon themselves to destroy that. And so in the midst of them destroying our stuff, I'm a Capricorn and I don't like when people try to play with me. And so I take pride in having a lot of mental fortitude. And so this day in particular, the producers came outside after the big blow up or whatever and pretty much told us that we were no longer on the show. And after they told us that we were no longer on the show, that's when you see me standing with my backpack on. I do the meme that like this, that's what that was, because that's what they were informing us, that basically they were kicking us off the show. And so, okay, since you're kicking us off the show, that means that you no longer have permission to film me. I haven't signed an appearance release because I'm no longer on your show. I'm not a cast member. Mm-hmm. And so when they got to start trying to plan like little games like, oh, well, we still need to get y'all's exit for I said, no. And I told the twins, I said, don't y'all do shit. I said, they're not filming us, and go get our phones. I said, go get our phones. They didn't even want to give us our phones. Me and the twins went next door and started ringing people's doorbells at the neighbor's house and asking them to call the police for us and everything, because they were acting like they didn't want to give us our phones. And, I said, call the police then. I said, if y'all don't give us our phones, I'm finna knock on everybody's door. We calling the police. Like, I took it all the way there. And I told the twins, like, they ended up getting us like a hotel. And I told the twins, I said, before we leave LA, we're finding a lawyer and we're suing them for this shit. They just destroyed every fucking thing that we own. We don't have no clothes, but the clothes on our back and maybe like another shirt or two. And you think I'm finna go home and lick my wounds and cry while y'all make millions and millions of dollars off my tears? Hell no. They had me fucked up. And the twins fucked up. We didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that to this day. Like, that was wrong. That was wrong.
Yeah,
like,
that was OD. That was OD crazy.
And you know, like, I never really sit and talk about it like for real, like in length, just because, you know, it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But they did us wrong, and they had to pay for it.
If the networks decided that they wanted to bring Bad Girls Club back, and they wanted it to be a collection of girls that had been on the show before, like a Where Are They Now type of thing, maybe Bad Girls on a Trip or something like that, would you partake? Why or why not?
No.
And why?
Because Bad Girls Club was a social experiment. They kept us mic'd 24/7. They took away our civil, like, in my opinion, our civil liberties, like not civil liberties, but they took away certain things from us to make us go crazy or to make us react. And they sat behind a wall with a bunch of cameras and basically used us, in my opinion, as lab rats for TV. And we were innocent young girls just wanting to, like, be famous and, you know, like, whatever. Everybody played their part. I'm not innocent. They not innocent. Everybody was in agreement. But what I'm saying is this: they took it too far when they decided to ruin our stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't allow myself to be in an environment with people that want to purposely hurt me. And that's what they wanted to do. And even if it's been 10 years, I can't be around people that wanted to take me out. They wanted to take us out. And so
Those are strong words.
They wanted to take us out. You let those girls literally destroy everything we own. Those girls pissed in a jacuzzi bathtub of and decided to throw our stuff in it. That's malicious and evil, and the producers let them do it. They never stopped them.
Yeah, that was
if you can sit there and let somebody do that because I left them and went to the club, if I come back 10 years later and I'm making more money than the producers that I started with 10 years ago, and I want way more money than $500 a week, and I'm very successful 10 years later, and you tried to do that to knock me down as a girl that had never been on TV before, and I'm a strong woman, independent woman, businesswoman, entrepreneur, standing before you, and you think that 10 years later I'm gonna let them play with me like that? I wish the fuck I would.
Okay.
I know that's right.
Now, if another network was to come up with an idea about that or like something like that, then I would potentially entertain it. But with that network, and or production company, no.
I would love to see that. I think
it would be cute.
You know, I think a lot of when I so first of all, hey y'all, I know we just started conversation. It's been a long time in the making. I just got right into the conversation because I'm excited to see her. I loved her season, and y'all know, I'm sure y'all probably have questions like, why isn't Mona here? Baby, first of all, Mona is a character for those of y'all that haven't figured that out yet. But seriously, I wanted this to be a real moment between us. I didn't want this to be like a laughing kind of ha-ha comedic moment because, as you saw in the beginning, we had some feelings involved. And Mona would have made fun of it.
Right, because I seen what you posted. Well, I seen what Mona posted on the page about me hugging people when I be fighting.
Baby!
I said, I can't even be mad. I had to just like the post. I said, you know what?
Listen.
I said, because you know what?
Friend, we gonna get into that.
I said, clocked me.
We gonna get into that, friend.
Clocked me.
But yes, it's all love, and definitely leave comments, share. But we're still gonna get into some things, okay? So segue back to the interview. We have a very interesting personality, interesting character. As a lot of you guys know her, I don't know her personally. I always say that there's two bad girls from Bad Girls Clubs that just do not like me or did not like Mona for whatever particular reason. But they never said it to me. I just felt it because I did so many interviews with y'all back in the day.
Yeah.
Damn near all the girls just about. But the one particular chick that I'm talking about is Natalie Nunn.
Really?
Natalie Nunn, I've never spoken to her. I've never, nothing, a DM, a message, nothing. Everybody always wanted me to interview her, and it just...
I think you know what? I think now, like, how we're... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I think now, like, how we're sitting down and having a conversation, oh my God, like, you know what? Natalie is one of my close friends. I might hit her up and see if she would be open to it, like, you know, when she gets some...
Really?
Because I don't know the... Okay, so what happened? Child, I'm sweating.
So my question for you, though, is how did Jela and Natalie become, I don't know the title y'all use, but I'll say friends, business associates. I don't know what that is. But how did that come about, and where are you today?
So I met Natalie. I have a memory like an elephant. I remember the day I met her. I met Natalie March of 2016. We were doing a hair shoot for She's Happy Hair. We were both hair ambassadors for them, and it's a hair company based out of Houston.
Okay.
And so they used to always have like the really fun commercials back in the day and stuff. And we were working with them, and that was my first time meeting her on set. And she was just really cool. Like, she invited me to her hotel room, and we sat there and we got our hair done together. The girls came over and did our hair. And then at the time, Natalie was selling lashes. Well, she has a lash company, but she was, I think, trying out like different types of lashes or whatever. So she gave me some lashes and, you know, whatever. And then she's a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn. And I think that's where our biggest commonality is. That's, I think, I'm not going to say the basis of our friendship is the fact that we're both Capricorns, but I feel like because we're both Capricorns, I understand her probably better than most people.
Okay.
And so when we first met, I didn't just hop on Natalie's coattail like, oh my God, Natalie Nunn. Like, she was cool. And whenever I would see her, we would speak, or, you know, we would hang out like in passing or whatever, but we never really would see each other all the time. So whenever I would see her, we would hang out, like I said, take a shot. Hey girl. And, you know, just kind of keep it moving. That's my Bad Girls Club sister, you know, whatever.
Okay.
And then, in 2019, she invited me on a trip to Dubai.
Okay.
And so I went on a girls trip with her.
I heard about them Dubai trips now. What kind of trip was
but
this?
But honestly, it was literally just a girls trip. It was a big group so one thing about Natalie loves to travel. Okay. And so that's one of the things that she does. She'll get a big group of girls together and travel the world. Like, we've been to Dubai, we've been to Africa. Natalie and just me and her, we go all over the world together. Like, she and I, we've been to Italy a few times. We've been to Dubai together. Like,
and that's like a normal thing. It's not like,
it's just a girls trip.
Let's do this for the photo op or nothing. It's like, friend, I want to go, come with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I don't know her relationship with all the other girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, how close she is or whatever the case may be. But so over the years, Natalie and I just kind of built an organic friendship, just getting to know each other a little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay.
And it just turned into an organic friendship because I don't think either one of us ever tried to like force it. Just because she was Natalie Nunn and we were both on Bad Girls Club, I wasn't trying to force myself into her life. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Whenever she would come around, we would hang out. She was cool. I'm cool. And then what happened was the dynamic of our friendship changed when we went to Africa. We went to Africa in 2021. And around that time, I had just moved to LA and I still had my place in New York. So I was like living between LA and New York, and we were still kind of in COVID, and I was going through a breakup and I had just had a miscarriage. And so, thank you. But, and so we went to Africa. We had a great time, and Natalie didn't even know what I was going through because we were cool, but we weren't super duper close. Okay. So I wasn't just about to just be telling her my business like that. Okay. You know, I went on a trip with her to Africa because she invited me, and it was the perfect time. Like, I was going through so much, and I was like, damn, like I was in my New York apartment about to go back to LA, and she called me. It might've been like a Tuesday. And she might have said, hey, bitch, I'm going to Africa in a couple days. Let's say Thursday. I'm going to Africa Thursday. You want to come? Yes. Ooh, the fuck? Ooh. Like, so long story short, we went to Africa. We had a great trip. And then we landed back in Atlanta. And it was like the middle of the night or like early morning hours. And so I'm from Atlanta, and my ex-boyfriend lived in Atlanta, and I was like missing him, and I'm texting him, and he was telling me, oh, I'm in the airport, I'm headed to Miami. And like we probably had like just missed each other, and the breakup was so fresh. I just started bawling, crying in the airport.
Aww.
And in the midst of me crying, Natalie was like, what's wrong, girl? Like, and so I had to tell her like, oh, like, you don't know, but I just had a miscarriage and I'm going through a breakup with my boyfriend. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And Natalie, that's when I saw the real her that everybody doesn't get to see. She sat in that airport and she cried with me because she had a miscarriage. And I think in that moment, I saw the real woman her,
Okay.
Not the person that you see on TV or like the character or the social media persona. I saw the everyday woman that knew what I was going through and that felt my pain because she had been through it before.
Yeah.
And that is what made me want to be her friend every day, like on a consistent basis, to really, really get to know her.
Okay.
And so after that, like, we would just be talking to each other every single day. Like, in the morning, she would be on her way to the gym or, like, dropping her daughter off at school. Like, she's, like, a normal person. Like, she's a mom. Like, when she's not filming, like, dropping her, well, when her daughter was still going to, like, public school or, like, private school, dropping her daughter off to school every single morning, going to the gym, like, her little daily routine, my daily routine.
Yeah.
Or, like, even when she would come to LA, just seeing like her work ethic, like she would spend the night at my house, and like to see her get up in the morning and like open up her laptop or pull out her planner and get straight to work as soon as she wakes up. That shit is inspiring.
Yeah.
I want somebody like that around because it motivates me to do bigger and better and to do more and to keep going. And this lady has been on TV for how long? And she's been an entrepreneur for how long? And clearly she's doing something that works.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed enough to be able to have a genuine friendship or at least I think an organic friendship with her. Why not try to learn as much from her as I can? Who wouldn't? If you sitting around somebody that's successful in multiple areas of their life, why would you not try to learn as much as you can from them? You would be a fool not to.
It makes sense, but I have to tell you, what you described just now and what we see on a regular basis are so
different,
so vastly different.
That's just like what you see of me, who I am on TV and who I am in real life. I'm not walking around knocking people upside their head and being the nigga police in my everyday life. You get what I'm saying? I don't even raise my voice. Like if you see me on the internet, you would probably think like I'm a party girl, or people have like a certain persona or a way that they have viewed people. And it's not to say that she isn't that.
That's not part of her.
But I can only tell you because people want to know, why am I friends with her? So I can only give you the reasons why I love her and the reasons why I have chosen to be friends with her and the things that connect us.
Okay.
So.
Because it seems like a lot of her quote unquote friendships end up not going anywhere, or they fall south, or whatever is going on. I mean, we know about the famous feud between her and Sarah Oliver, and like everybody comes up online and spews a lot of negative things about her. But the story that you just gave us was very beautiful. I would have never thought that happened. No shade. I just would have never thought. Like, what?
Honestly, like when that moment happened between us in the airport, I'm not gonna say I was floored, but I think that, when you work in the entertainment industry for so long, you do kind of become a little numb or a little cold because you never really know. You never really know who wants to be your friend or who's just around you for what. So I think we're all a little desensitized, and in that moment, like a barrier was broken.
No shade, you kind of have to be. I mean, because what y'all deal with and what y'all go through on that show. I don't know. People want me to get into reality TV all the time, but I'm just like, baby, my brain ain't wired right. At least not for that kind of reality. I see myself being like on competition shows or something like that because I'm very competitive. What would you say your relationship is today? Because, baby, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna pull out a little bit of Mona, baby. I'm not fucking tell you, girl, cause bitch, what? Girl, the last episode, y'all saw it, and I saw it too. And I know you saw it.
I did.
What is your relationship today? Because we're gonna dig a little deeper, a little later. It's a long interview. We're gonna dig a little deeper. But what is your relationship today?
I actually talked to Natalie this morning. And I said after I saw that episode, I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were so hurt. I cried like 3 times. Like, baby, I'm not gonna lie.
Baby.
My feelings was so hurt.
Baby.
And I'm not gonna lie, my feelings was fucking hurt.
Yes.
But I'll say this, like, and I'm not excusing her behavior because it was fucked up for her to sit and talk about me with Roelly's fat ass.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because that bitch don't like me. I'm gonna just be all the way real. Roelly motherfucking ass do not like me. And I'm cool with that because we're co-workers. We don't have to be best friends. But for you to sit up and talk about me with this bitch is like to add insult to injury because anyway, I'm not gonna talk about other people, but don't sit up and talk about me with no hoe.
You know what?
So that was my thing about it. And I've had multiple conversations with Natalie about it and just about things that people have come back to her and told her that I said, you know, when the cameras wasn't up or, you know, when the cameras wasn't around. So I'm gonna be real. Y'all saw Natalie talking shit about me with Roelly and the cameras caught it. I'm not perfect. I've done my dirt and I've done things that the camera didn't catch.
Okay.
And so I have to, you know, I'm a very self-aware person and I'm not going to sit up here.
Big of her.
And one thing I'm never going to do is I'm not going to try to smear dirt on nobody's name. And I'm not finna try to make myself seem like I'm perfect or I'm an angel or I'm better than nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that's still, at the end of the day, that's still been my friend for a long time. And with that being said, she did something that I didn't like and she did something that hurt me. And we got to work on that. But for me to sit up here and say that I don't still love her or I'm not going to be her friend, I would be lying to you.
Okay.
I'm not going to get on Beyonce's internet and lie. I'm still going to be friends with her. I do still love her. When I have Miami Swim Week, she's still going to be in my show because we still support each other. Even if we support each other in different ways, you have to know in this industry who your friends and who your allies are. And sometimes you're going to fall out with people. You're going to argue with people. Everybody's not always going to get along. And that's just, it is what it is. I don't know how to be more honest about it. I love her. And to me, Natalie is as much of my friend as she knows how to be, if that makes sense. It's just as I am as much of her friend as I know how to be from my perspective and my vantage point of the world.
So what I will say to that is everyone has a different relationship with the people that they're with.
Right.
Friendship, situationship, whatever you call it. Everybody's friendship is different. I have some people that call everybody and their mama best friend. Some people that call everybody and their mama friend. I don't call everybody friend. But that's different for everyone. And
right.
I can say that I respect the fact that you were able to check yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Because do we have moments where we talk about our friends and our friends are not there? Yeah.
And even if you don't mean it maliciously,
right?
Shit happens.
But baby, let me tell you something.
That was some bullshit.
That was crazy. That was crazy work.
It was. When I tell you, first of all, let me tell you, this last season, because I feel like I'm trying to keep it like, you know, let me just be for real. This last season was a shit storm. It was a hell storm, okay?
Sure was.
All of the above.
Yes.
And I feel like everybody's emotions was high. Everybody was talking shit about every fucking body.
Okay.
Let's just be real.
Let me pause this. Like, I heard what she's saying that, you know, she's talked about Natalie and didn't get called and it hurt her feelings. And at the end of the day, she still love her and that's going to be her friend. You know, I guess. But this isn't the first time we've seen Natalie play you or be fake towards you. I think that she has more of a loyalty and regard for Natalie than Natalie has for her. You know, it's one thing to do stuff in private and then it's another thing to do stuff in public, because I feel like the public you is the real you. You know, and you just can't let people treat you, any kind of way for an opportunity or for a connect or whatever the case may be. I just ain't feeling it. You got to have more regard for yourself, and for her to be, all into spirituality and all of that type of stuff, I would think that Jela would know better. But I guess you got to learn the hard way
about it, because when you're in an environment with that, it ain't 7 girls like Bad Girls Club.
Right. It was like 19 of y'all.
It's like 20 bitches.
Yeah.
That you got to deal with every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna talk shit about somebody.
Yeah.
And somebody might go back and say something about it. That's woman shit. That's human shit. It's gonna happen. So
I'm gonna ask, and I think I know what the answer is, but for the people out there watching, because the age demographic is, I would say, kind of vast.
It is.
Because we have people from the BGC days, and then we have the kids now.
Right.
So some are grown and mature and understand how life works, and then others just see the world through the lens of Zeus, and they're just like, whatever. But there are those moments where what you see may not be what it is all of the time.
Right.
And what we saw in that clip of Natalie talking to Roelly is not your life with her on a regular day-to-day basis. And so because of that, I could see where she's saying she's able to get through that and let it mull over.
It's like being in a relationship.
Okay.
So the way that I look at my friendships, I look at my friendships like relationships.
Do you want me to turn the air off? You cold?
No, why? Because my nipples hurt?
No, I just see you.
No, I move around a lot, so no, it's fine.
Okay, good.
But no, I look at my friendships like relationships.
Okay.
And so with that being said, if you're in a relationship with someone, you have to take time to get to know them, and people may do things that you don't like, and you have to be willing to forgive them if you want to keep them in your life, or whatever the case. But you have to have a little bit of like understanding and compassion for other people just in general. And so I cannot move about the world expecting, and I'm not even going to make this about God. Like, I'm not even going to be like, oh, I can't expect for God to forgive me if I'm not forgiving others, which is true. But in the same token, I cannot move about the world and deal with men and give them grace and allow my man. If I allow my man to fuck up, why can't my friend fuck up?
Okay.
And if I can forgive my man, why can't I forgive my home?
And I heard that, and I agree with that. I agree with that. But Natalie has had the same snake behavior since you met her in 2016. That's the problem. How many times are you going to allow somebody to treat you badly, and you just going to continue to give them grace? That's the issue, Jela. And I feel like she's acting and speaking like a battered woman. Like she got battered woman syndrome or something when it comes to this chick.
Homegirl that I've known longer than him.
Okay.
This been my friend for almost 10 years. And when Bad Girls Club shut the lights off on us, and when I was all said and done, and I was an entrepreneur, doing my entrepreneur stuff and my fashion shows or whatever, and Natalie had a good idea, and even though we were still friends outside of me coming back to TV, she didn't have to pick up the phone and say, hey Jayla, you trying to whatever? That was a friend call. I hadn't been on TV in 7 years. She didn't have to call me. She didn't have to call none of us. So that's why I say, like, sometimes people do things and everybody ain't perfect, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and I may want to be forgiven. Like, I literally just told my little sister earlier that I just did something to one of my other friends, and I knew after it happened, I said I was a bad friend and I have to apologize to her for that because it wasn't cool. Be able to check yourself, be able to be self-aware, and know that just because somebody does something, it doesn't determine the full scope of who they are. And don't base that one thing, y'all's relationship, off of that one thing. I can't base my relationship with Natalie off of her talking shit in the car with Roelly, because what happened to everything else that y'all don't see, that I don't speak about, that y'all don't know?
I respect it.
So it's fucked up. Trust me, like I said, it's fucked up. It was fucked up. She knows it was fucked up. We talked about it. We had a whole conversation about it. It got real, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do with your people. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see me get on the internet trying to blast her and calling her this and telling that. I liked a few shady posts about her saying some fucked up shit about me. I reposted a couple shady things on Instagram, but as far as like getting on the internet and tearing her down because of that, I ain't cut like that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you refill? Give her a refill for me? You so kind and sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tristan. You good? You comfortable?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. Baby, that was number 8. Okay. What made you sign on to do Baddies South? Word on the curb, and the curb being the internet.
Right.
And that ain't no curb.
Streets.
Yes. Word on the curb was that you was either bored or you just needed the money. What is it? One of the two? Is it
was both.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I moved to LA January of 2021. So we're still in the thick of COVID because COVID was happening then. So we're in COVID. I moved to LA and I'm working on normal culture, and things are going good, but they could be going better. And Natalie hit me up. First of all, Natalie hit me up to be on Baddies ATL. And at the time I didn't do it because I was pregnant and I was in a relationship, but I didn't tell her at the time I was pregnant. I was just like, no, I think I'm good. You know, I was just I made like an excuse as to why I didn't want to do it. But then when she asked me the second time, it was like, okay, you know, me and her, we done got a little bit closer. We hang out a little bit more on a consistent basis. I guess I wouldn't really mind. I do need the money. I could put it into my brain. You know, I'm always thinking about normal culture, like when I go and do this kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
And so I'm like, fuck you, why not? Like,
you think Baddies South was the breakout season? Some say.
For sure.
What made it the breakout season?
I think it was just loud. I think that the first season of Baddies, so I think Baddies ATL was kind of like, it was the first season. The budget, you know, they was just kind of getting it together, just testing the waters a little bit. And then I think with Baddies South, they kind of figured a little bit out a little bit more, switched the cast up and brought in different dynamics. And I think because there were different dynamics on the cast, and not just girls from BGC, it kind of shook the room. Yeah. And it was great. Chrisean came in and did her motherfucking thing. I got to give my hat off to her. Like, what it was, it was just salacious. Yeah. You know, that first episode when Chrisean put persuasion in his and you know, it's no shade to like persuasion. I don't have no issue with her. I don't have no issue with none of them, you know? Yeah. But that shit was crazy. Yeah. And I think when the fans saw that, it reminded them of something that they would see on Bad Girls Club. Yeah. And I think from there they were hooked. Yeah. So on Baddies South, it seemed, and I'm saying seemed because you never know how, you know, stuff maybe, but it seemed like you and Chrisean had a bond. It seemed like it became like a dynamic of a big brother, a big sister, little sister situation. How organic was that, and when did that develop? So I'm trying to think, how did it really happen? Okay, so when we first started filming, I was a little nervous to kind of get to know Chrisean, only because, like, you know, stuff that we had kind of like saw on the internet a little bit. And she was like a little bit wilder than I was. Yes. And so I was a little nervous to get to know her. Like, and if you saw like in the clip when we were laying across the bed, I asked Natalie because they were kind of saying like that she had, you know, like issues or whatever. And so, but I was asking seriously. I was like, Natalie, is there something seriously, whatever? Right. But when I sat back, I'm a very observant person. When I sat back and just saw her moving about, and then I was like, she's just a girl, you know, like she's just a young girl, and she's very misunderstood, and y'all not finna play with her. And we just got cool. Like, I would order food, and then like she would come and like sit and eat with me, or like she would smoke and ask me, do I want to smoke with her? Or, you know, little things. Like, I had my sewing machine with me, and like I'll be just like making like little stuff, and then like she's like, can you bake me something? And I like make her a little pair of shorts or whatever. And, like, I just had a bunch of clothes with me because that was like Baddies South. I was really actively sewing and making a lot of my own clothes. And so like her and Scotty, like I would just open the suitcase and they'd be like, Jela, what do you got? I need an outfit. Yeah. And they just get what they wanted, because I had so much stuff. So I think it just kind of started off like that. And I have little sisters. And and then she started sleeping in the bed with me. And she was just so sweet, and she was just so cool. Like, I don't know, like,
do you think, and I
miss Chrisean being on the show,
to say something in a certain way about her. I'm just trying to get to understand.
Right.
And I think for the audience too, because all we see is what we see.
Right.
But you get to see behind the camera. So my question is, when the cameras come around, is there like a switch that turns on for you or her, or like being Baddies South being like it was the second or third season of the series? Is there something like turns on? It's like, all right, let's go. We about to get it in, like what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard the term lights, camera, action?
Yes.
Or have you ever heard you got a battery in your back?
Yeah.
Those are all true things. What are we doing right now? Lights, camera, action.
Okay.
And the battery in your back is a real thing, because when you're filming, you have a battery attached to your back and a microphone across your chest. So I don't think that it's necessarily, when the camera comes on, you turn into like a boom, here I am. But you're cognizant and you're aware that the cameras are on. So you may be a little bit more animated or a little bit more amplified because you know that people are watching. So I think that that's what it is.
Okay.
But I think that that's true for all entertainers, whether you're on reality TV or whether you're dancing across a stage or, whether you're interviewing someone.
It's true, because, everybody be wanting to be, my YouTube personality every time they see me, and I'm so laid back and chill, exactly. And you know what I'm saying?
There's a time and a place for everything.
And I get that. I definitely get that. What do we know about the 10 versus you and Chrisean?
The 10.
What don't we know?
So, like, what led up to that?
Yes, because it was a while ago, and I'm not going back and trying to figure it out. Right. And that network edits the fuck out of everything. It'll be a conversation. For example, like the conversation you had in this last episode with Natalie. Mm-hmm. I heard one thing one way, and then I heard another thing another way. Then something was said, and then we cut to her and Roelly talking. I'm like, what the hell was the conversation? So what don't we know that led up to the 10 versus Chrisean and Jela?
Okay, so, because I be smoking weed, child. This was 2 years ago. This was 2022, 3 years ago, 2022.
I was about to say, why it seemed longer than that?
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so the night before that altercation, some of the cast members went out, and they didn't want to invite Chrisean. And because they didn't want to invite Chrisean, I didn't go. And it was more so of a thing. Well, really how it started was they were going out and they didn't invite either one of us at first. Okay. We kind of saw the girls getting dressed and doing their thing. Yeah. Like, what these bitches doing? We like chilling, like we're done working for the night. And so long story short, they were saying like that they was going out. And they were kind of telling me like, oh, well, we going out, you can come, but we don't really want Chrisean to come because she don't be knowing how to act sometimes. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to leave her. Like, I be with her every day. She's sleeping in the bed with me. Like, this is my girl. Like, if y'all want to go, like, y'all can go. I'm not going to leave her at home by herself. Like, I ain't going to do that, but y'all go. And so when I went and told Chrisean, I was like, yeah, them bitches, they going out without us and they wasn't going to invite us. And it kind of started from there, in which Roelly and Slim didn't get invited to go out either. And so what happened was the four of us, and I can't remember who else was at the house. We were at the house and we were irritated and we didn't know what they was on because, we don't know them. We're still in the earlier parts of filming.
Right.
Because filming don't last a long time. When y'all see it on TV, it look stretched out, but it'd be only like days in between that stuff. Okay. And so something happened. Maybe somebody was using a charger. This shit stemmed from a motherfucking phone charger that was plugged up in a living room. like maybe Chrisean's charger might have been plugged up in a living room and one of them were using it, or maybe one of their chargers. It was vaguely. It was. I want to say something happened in that living room with a fucking phone charger. It was something stupid as fuck, to where Slim and Chrisean got in an argument, and they almost got in a fight in the house that night, like while everybody was gone. They almost fought and like threw a water bottle at each other. And like, to be honest, me and Roelly didn't have no issue with each other. She had Slim's back, and of course I have Chrisean's back, so I think we both just kind of like got thrown into some shit.
Okay.
They both had an issue with Chrisean though. But I'm not gonna let them tag team and double team. You know, I'm just not letting that happen. And so the next day, and this is all still a little fuzzy because like I said, it's 3 years ago, but I remember it was something that happened where we didn't go out to the club with them, and we was kind of irritated about it. And then Roelly and Slim didn't go out either. And it was something that happened in a living room, and I want to say it was over a phone charger. Slim and Chrisean got in an argument and was throwing water bottles at each other or whatever it was. And so the next day we knew it was going to be up.
Got you.
So
hell, they should have been going against
behind some bullshit.
Who left them at the damn house?
Yours and Roelly's relationship became strained because you beat her up on South?
Yeah.
Or was it always?
I feel like our relationship became strained because I beat her up, and Roelly up until then had never, I think, lost a fight. Or Roelly was the girl that was known for whooping ass and taking names on TV.
Yep.
And so I think that when she and I fought and she didn't win that fight, and I can't speak for her. You know, this is just my own hypothesis. I think that it was an ego hit. And it took us a long time after that to kind of like warm up to each other. We didn't just cozy up to each other and start trying to be friends again. It took us being around each other on multiple occasions after the show in order for us to warm up to each other and say, okay, you actually a cool bitch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't know each other for real, so we ain't really gotta hold on to that for real, for real. We fought. We ain't really know each other for real. Now we work together. We getting to know each other. Like, we could just leave that. In my opinion, I thought we were moving forward and just kind of like leaving it where it was. But
I guess not.
I feel like, and because Roelly and I, like, we've, like, I ain't gonna say like we're best friends or even friends. We're cordial. We're mutual. You know, we've gone and gotten food together. We've smoked together, but not anything too serious. Like, I don't call her and tell her my business. She don't call me and tell me any of her business, and that's perfectly fine. But I felt like at the very least, because we had been working together for as long as we have, and we have shared intimate moments with each other, and
in this season you are drying her eyes because she talking about her child and everything that she got going on.
But yeah, because I mean, for me, and what it is for me is like, I'm a very understanding person. I'm very compassionate. I'm a woman at the end of the day.
Yeah,
I'm a woman. And if somebody is crying, I don't want to see nobody crying. You know, this is a woman who was saying that she was hurt because somebody was talking about her kid. And I can't even relate to that because I don't have a child, but I know that I want kids. And, you know, I understand.
Did DTB really talk about her child? No.
I don't know. Because I don't know what they be having going on.
I'm going to say no, she did.
I don't know.
Okay, you know, anytime somebody misses a child, oh, you talk about my child, don't bring my child into this. Child, DTB didn't say nothing about that child. Anyway, Baddies, we still on Baddies South. Y'all, I hope y'all got y'all snacks. Okay.
Right.
I want to go back and watch Baddies South now.
There was a moment where Natalie and Jela had a moment. It was a thing. And you seem to be very in tune with your emotions. You cried on the show. You cried. Yeah, you're very in tune. I want to say that it was another emotional moment between you and her.
Yeah.
And I would say that this is after the airport moment, the times you've hung out and all of that. So what was the issue? Because it became a house B versus a house A, or your side stay over here. You stay with your dogs. I'm with my girls.
And this is what I'm talking about.
Did you notice that after Baddies South, the two houses?
So, yeah.
Basically what happened was, like I said, you know, me and Natalie are actually friends in real life.
Yeah.
So some real life shit got spilled into the TV shit. And the real life stuff that was being discussed or talked about shouldn't have been discussed or talked about.
Okay.
And it just wasn't cool. And
So it was her talking about it or the cast talking about it?
it was her and the cast. Like, it was, but it was because, okay, so there's a girl that was on the show with us, Ann Moore.
Yeah, she does things with her mouth. Yes.
And so Ann Moore was on Baddies South with us, and I met Ann
Is she
the
still
show.
a whore?
Okay.
And we were, all mutuals. And so I think that because we were all mutuals and we knew some personal business, everyday life business about each other, girls get to talking, girls get to gossiping.
Yeah.
You go and tell this person, well, they don't stop there. They go and say this, that. And it was a situation like that where it was a little too much gossiping going on and things just had to be checked.
Okay. Who's still on the cast do you normally, naturally don't have to be forced to talk to today? Or Baddies South? From Baddies South?
From Baddies South?
Like, do you still talk to Chrisean?
In passing.
Okay.
Like, if I see Chrisean out and about, like, I would speak to her, I would hug her,
Okay.
I'm always happy when I see her, but we don't like call each other or speak on the phone.
Persuasion.
I don't talk to her. We were never really like friends like that. We were just on the show together.
Okay.
She's cool though, but it's not we just, friends.
Okay. So Baddies South ends, and there's 2 seasons of a gap. We don't see Jela. Is that because of the tiff you had with Natalie, or is it because of personal things? Why did we not see a return until Caribbean?
So I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh.
I didn't get a call back for I think the next season was West. I didn't get a call back for West because I feel like I didn't get a call back for West because I didn't fight at that reunion. Up South. I was looking too motherfucking good.
Okay.
I was looking too good.
Okay.
I was not fighting. I looked too good. Baby, I was looking too good. I had on some gold Jimmy Choos and a cute little custom 1-2 normal culture custom chapleys.
Yeah.
Them finger waves was laid, baby, fried dot laid to the side.
Yes. Yes.
I was looking way too good. You seen when baby Persuasion did something, I just fell to the floor. Excuse me, out your way.
Yes.
Not doing that.
Right.
No. And Trina was on stage with us. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not fighting in front of Trina.
Right.
She's too bad of a bitch. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't fight in front of her. I don't give a damn what clips y'all show.
So do you feel like the seasons there was a missing element because you weren't on the seasons and that's why you came to Caribbean? Did you come to Caribbean because the stack grew? Did you come to Caribbean because Natalie asked you? Why did you come to Caribbean?
So I feel like Caribbean was, like I always say, like normal culture is always on my mind.
Okay.
And so I feel like with me being a swimwear designer and, always like creating things that are like resort wear or travel wear, and me being a person that's an avid traveler, going to the Caribbean was so on brand for me as a person and for where I was at with my brand and what I was trying to accomplish. Baddies Caribbean was perfect.
But we didn't see no swimsuits. She should have made swimsuits for the girls, had them modeling. She could have set up a photo shoot or just had them taking photos. Every other sentence out of her mouth should have been normal culture, normal culture. We didn't even get to see that because what she's saying is valid. That is the perfect platform for her to promote her swimwear, but that didn't happen.
Because Miami Swim Week was shortly after. So if I'm on Baddies Caribbean, the show was airing. If I'm wearing bikinis or if I'm wearing resort wear or, things of that nature. So I'm always thinking from that perspective.
I love it.
And it was the perfect timing. And I was doing really good with normal culture. Like I had been in so many fashion shows, New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, Miami Swim Week, all of the accolades that, I really didn't have to go back to Baddies, but they be hitting you up with offers that you can't really refuse. I ain't gonna lie. If you ever picked up a check from that network, you already know what time it is. And when they call you, be like, God damn. You said what? Just 40 days? Fuck it. I can what? Damn, for real? Yeah.
So what do you say to the people, what do you say to the people that feel like Baddies is beneath you? Like when I think, I'm speaking for myself. I'm sure y'all can say what y'all want to say in the comments, whatever. Speaking for myself, when I think of Jela, I just think of Top Model, America's Next, Forbes, Fashion Week, all of that. The things of the things of the things. I remember just recently, Dolce was doing a fashion show, and I don't know what the designer name was, but she walked out in the fashion show, and she was looking really, really good. She performed with JT. Naomi Campbell walked out. In my mind, I'm expecting Jela to be there too. In my mind,
you was just waiting on me to pop out.
Like you know what I'm saying? Give it a walk, give it, you know. So in my mind, when I think of Jela, I think of that. I don't necessarily think of Baddies or whatnot. But what do you say to people like me or the other people? That
How do I explain this
for
to y'all?
D squared?
What's going on, friend? I understand the business perspective,
Of course.
but really, I mean,
Okay, you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
So, I'm for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Okay.
I know that a lot of people think that Baddies is like beneath me, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said to me, Jela, you know, we could see you being on America's Next Top Model or whatever.
Yeah.
I auditioned for America's Next Top Model like 3 times.
Okay.
They never picked me.
Okay.
They didn't choose me. And
Okay.
so when you grow up modeling, I started modeling when I was like 12. I got my first headshot when I was 12, and I used to take it to school and autograph it and give it to people in middle school.
I feel that. That's cute.
And so when you grow up like that,
Yes.
modeling and in front of the camera and just trying to like get your foot out there, or people your whole life telling you how beautiful you are and you should be a model, and then when you try and you go to like, people are always saying, Jela, you should be on America's Next Top Model. You should be on America's Next Top Model. And I go and I audition for Top Model as soon as I graduate from high school. And they didn't pick me, but that didn't keep me from going back. I auditioned 3 times.
Yeah.
I auditioned 3 times. And so it really put like a damper on my spirit.
Yeah.
It did. And I
you.
never ever told, you're the first person outside of my family that I have ever told this to. I never told nobody this. But yes, I auditioned for Top Model 3 times, and I'm not mad that they didn't choose me.
Yeah.
Because what's for me is for me. That just wasn't what God wanted for me at that time. Because look where normal culture is. I get to put myself on.
Yeah.
I'm my own model. I'm the face of my own brand.
Yeah.
I'm giving girls the same opportunities that nobody else would give me that look like me. That's not cookie cutter, size 2, 6'1" models.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, for the people that think that, you know, Baddies is beneath me, I will say this, because I can talk on and on and on about it. But I come from Bad Girls Club. And when I did Bad Girls Club at a time in my life where I didn't have nothing to lose. I had just gotten fired from my job. I worked in property management. I had just gotten fired from my job. Me and my boyfriend at the time had just broke up. He was an NFL player, and I was living in Houston, Texas. And I had went back to college. That's where y'all see me on TSU campus in my audition tape.
Very cute video.
And so I didn't have nothing to lose. I knew I wanted to be famous, and Bad Girls Club gave me that opportunity. And so 7 years later, when Baddies came around and I got that opportunity, I was at a place in my life again where I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. I'm a single woman. And at that time, I'm a single woman, you know, going through a breakup in LA, trying to get my footing and trying to survive, trying to make money, trying to take care of myself. I'm not going to sit here and try to dress it up and make it pretty for nobody. That's the truth. Baddies helped me take care of myself. Baddies helped me take care of my family. Baddies helped me get my brand where it is today. And even if people feel like I'm bigger than Baddies, or, you know, I should be doing more, life ain't over yet. Life's just getting started. I ain't nothing but 35.
I feel that. But I want to add to that, right? Because I think, well, again, speaking for myself, y'all can say how y'all feel in the comments or whatever. But I think what comes about with that, we thinking that you're bigger than, is because when we look at you and we see you, we see the poise, we see the grace, we see what we have already seen you done and what we can continue to see you do. But then we see the ratchet and the fighting because somebody did something and it really don't make no sense. And it's like the jumping and the sneaking and people get knotted up in blood, and it's like...
Can I be real with you? You know what this is? And I'm going to be real. And I know that there are going to be people that are saying this at home and be like, damn, I'm glad she told the truth. What this is like, what you see me doing is you see me living in survival mode. You see me living in survival mode and being afraid of my own potential. That's all it is.
Expound on that.
So
that's some real shit.
I know that I'm supposed to have my own talk show. I know that I'm supposed to be one of the top supermodels in the world. I know that I'm one of the most beautiful people you have ever seen and one of the most well-spoken women on TV.
Okay.
And I got better skin than everybody else. I'm 35 and I got the skin of a 17-year-old. Okay, these are things I know.
All right.
But in knowing those things, when you don't come from a family or a tribe of people that have done any of those things that I've stated, it's sometimes a little bit hard to take the road less traveled or to really chase every single dream to the tippy top.
Okay.
And sometimes you do get comfortable and you see me at a place where I found where I was comfortable. I found where I could make money, I could be famous, and people could like me, and it was easy. But now that's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm choosing to purposely step away from that so that God can really not only show me what I'm made of, but also show y'all the manifestation that y'all have poured onto me. Because I love when people say that. I love when people say you're bigger than Baddies. And I want to see you coming out with a Naomi Campbell, because what you're doing is you and the rest of the world, the people on Twitter and the Instagram or wherever they are on YouTube, the people all across the world that are watching me and seeing it and saying things like that, y'all are helping me. Because it's an energy. Yeah. It's an energy.
And it's real though. It's not,
real. I'm not real thing.
I'm not just fugazi and just popping off at the mouth like it's real though.
For a long time, and I'm not afraid to say this, and I want you to include this. Yeah. Because it's somebody else that needs to hear this so they stop doing it. For a very long time, I was afraid of my own potential. Okay. I played small because I was in survival mode. And I was scared to really walk that walk and talk that talk and really take that step out on faith, because I talk is a good talk. I do. Okay. But there's still a part of me that was scared to really go and be as big as the world knows that I'm supposed to be, because y'all can see it. Yeah. A blind man can see it. Stevie Wonder can fucking see it. He can feel it. Yeah. He can feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can feel it. You can see it when I walk into a room, even if I don't say anything.
It's good to be self-aware though. And I have to say, it's hard to even think that a lot of the women a part of this particular franchise, Baddies, are self-aware, because some of the things that we see is...
I don't know how self-aware a lot of people are within my franchise. I had to stop that. But there are some. There are some very intelligent. There are some very intelligent.
What season was they on?
I'm gonna tell you, and this might cause a little bit of controversy because of just everything that's going on right now within the franchise. But one of the most intelligent women that I have met within my franchise is Diamond the Body.
Oh yeah, Diamond is smart.
I know you're gonna look at that camera.
She is a marketing genius.
And you're gonna be like, Jela,
she's a marketing genius.
Open your mouth and explain what the fuck you're talking about and do it quick.
Are you? Hold on now, because I'm of age now. I'm a prime rib up here in these streets now, and I don't watch the seasons. And Diamond the Body's cool. I see it.
I don't agree. I'm gonna tell you something.
Tactics.
I don't agree with her tactics.
Okay.
But when I say intelligence, I mean when I'm able to sit down and have a conversation with you, and your subjects and your verbs agree, and we can talk about books that we have both read, and you're a businesswoman and you're business savvy, and she speaks well. I pay attention to people that speak well. My
phone agrees. My phone is.
See? I'm just.
My phone agrees. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not no hater.
Yeah.
And I don't care what issues nobody got with other people. That ain't my business.
Okay.
You asked me who I felt like was intelligent like me.
Okay.
Natalie is also very intelligent.
Okay.
She's a college degree educated woman.
Yes.
But outside of her, when I'm speaking solely in terms of my castmates, my peers.
That's very interesting.
She is someone that you would not just give that to off the bat because of how wild she is.
Yes.
But that is what made me pay attention to her even more because she's very calculated with it. She will tell you that she is a clout chaser.
Yes.
But when you sit down and have a conversation with her, she's a girl.
There's an actual conversation.
It's an actual conversation, and she speaks very well. And I speak very well. One day I told her, I said, Diamond, you speak very well. She was like, thank you. And I was like, you have an intelligent mom, don't you? And she was like, yeah, how did you know? And I was like, because I have an intelligent mom. And when you have a smart mom, they just instill certain things in you. Like, I'm from Atlanta, but I don't speak with slang and jargon, and I don't have that Atlanta accent. Like, I don't break up my words. And, you really wouldn't know where I was from specifically. Besides, you'd be like the region. Oh, she's from the South, but I don't know where.
Right.
With Diamond, I didn't know Diamond was from Miami because she doesn't have like a typical...
Miami.
Miami accent. And it's, and just like I don't have that typical Atlanta, accent or whatever. And so I did not know that she was like from Miami or like from Florida. I'm not sure she's specifically from Miami, but I know that she's from Florida. But she speaks very well, and I pay attention to that. And then one day on Caribbean, I walked into her room, and I think that she was reading, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something like that. She was reading like a book. And I said, I'll be reading. I enjoy people that read. I enjoy people that have like a yearn for life or that are inquisitive and read books and like knowledge. Like, I like that. And that made me like her. And I don't care like about her antics and whatever issues she got with other people. That's her business. But just in terms of intellect and brain power and someone that I respect, like for also having mental fortitude, I got to give it up to her. I give it to her. She got it. Her brain works.
Baddies Caribbean was loud. Baddies Caribbean was very interesting. Some of my faves from Baddies Caribbean, Sukiana, baby, she was a personality that was great for this show. You went off on quite a few people. Okay. Those are my top 2 primes right now. And yeah, those are my top 2 primes. Biggie. Biggie felt some sort of way that you and Natalie was talking about her online. I remember seeing it live, but I didn't really take it that deep and that serious. It wasn't that for me, but I ain't on the show, so it is what it is. She said she was going to slap the dog shit out of you when she see you. Now, we know Biggie can't do much of shit, baby. We know
that bitch hit hard.
Well, we're going to get to her. We're going to get to her now. But in my mind, I'm like, is Jela really moved by this? Or was this a storyline?
Honestly, it wasn't even supposed to be a storyline.
Okay.
But it became a storyline. And then thank you, Biggie, because I think that, I'm going to be real. Had me and Biggie not gotten into it on the internet before Caribbean or whatever the case may be, I probably wouldn't have been on Caribbean because I wouldn't have really had like a real storyline. So I'm able to give people where credit is due.
Okay.
And because it's hindsight, because it really wasn't supposed to be like that.
Okay.
Natalie asked me a question and I tried to deflect. I was like, well, I didn't really see it like that. And I just kind of tried to like move on, and then she brought it back around and we looked at each other and started laughing, but I never poked fun at her because I didn't at that moment, I didn't really know her like that to poke fun at her or whatever, but she felt like me and Natalie were being mean girls. In that moment. I wasn't really, but what the fuck ever. We got to the Caribbean, baby, and it went the fuck down.
Do you I got a couple of questions about this. Do you think you carried that? Do you think you carried it way too long? Like the going against Biggie? It felt like every episode there was like Biggie.
But yes, but that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault.
What does that mean?
It just, honestly, that wasn't my fault. It just wasn't my fault.
Okay.
Because.
Yes.
Well, whose fault was it?
I think for me.
Yes. I hear you. I'm
gonna say this: when it came to that situation with Biggie and myself.
What is her real name?
Before that second altercation happened, the one in the house when we got to Barbados.
Okay.
We were already there. Y'all just didn't see us there.
Yeah.
But Biggie and I had pretty much had a conversation and kind of like squashed it.
Okay.
And then when we got to set, I was told it was a different story. And so that's why when we were in the scene, you see me and Biggie arguing, but there's not really like a bark for real. Like we going back and forth, but I'm trying to like catch it a little. I'm like, where we going with this or whatever? But they're telling me, the people around us are saying, you know, keep your head on the swivel because she owned that, is what I was told. You know, just from like.
But what? Okay. So real quick. I'm gonna have to say that the intro, maybe Biggie was in it though.
Oh, it got like that.
Yeah, she got up and she said, "Oh, let's go ahead."
That bitch hit me hard.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When we was fighting, When we was fighting and y'all see me get up and we ran behind that chair, I underestimated Biggie. And that bitch hit me so hard.
Baby.
She hit me so hard. I said, "Oh no, I gotta really knuckle and buckle with this bitch."
Yeah, she wasn't playing.
I said, "Oh hell no!"
And you know, in that moment,
we got the fisticuff and Biggie got some good hits, and I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ashamed to say she got some good licks.
Yeah, I was so shocked. Now I'm gonna ask you now: is that a part of the reason why you carried a little bit? Because you're like, hold on now, because when you was in the house, I don't know what house this was or what time this was, but you was in the house, and it seemed like you was going at her, and she was not trying to come back at all.
Exactly.
She was walking away and didn't.
But that's what I'm. So let me tell you in that scene, because this is all when we first got to Barbados.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, because remember, technically we had just got to Barbados.
Yeah.
In TV land.
Yeah.
We had just got to Barbados.
Right.
But in real life, we had been there for maybe like a day or so.
Right.
And so even though we had squashed it off camera, we still have to do that on camera.
Got you.
For the fans to be able to follow the sequence of events. And so the scene where you see me walking behind her, going toward her room or whatever it was, I was actually trying to grab her to say, okay, what are are we like, because we made up the night before, so bitch, are we like putting on or like, but they grabbed me like I was trying to fight her, and I actually wasn't. I never wanted to like fight Biggie again after we had squashed it, because I'm like, okay, we can argue, but I had been told that she was on that. And so when we walked back to that back area, I was trying to grab her to see like, Biggie, are we really like on this? Or like, you want to just make it good for TV real quick? Like, what are we doing? Because we just kind of squashed this the night before. I know we got to make up on camera, but how are we going to get to that? Like, that's really why I followed her back there to tap her. I didn't know they were going to grab me, because everybody else that's working with us kind of had gotten wind that we had like squashed it. Yeah. So we knew that we had to squash it on camera too. But when they came to me and were telling me like, it's not a squash, you might want to be head on a swivel, And then when she was like yelling and popping it, I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and hit this bitch and get this over with. I ain't got time for this.
The question of all questions, do you feel that you bullied Biggie?
No, I do not feel like I bullied Biggie. And the reason being is because I did not start with her. Natalie asked me a question and I gave my answer. And I also tried to deflect and not really answer the question out of respect for her and not really knowing her that well and not wanting to seem like I was picking on her or being a mean girl on the internet with my friend. So that's number one. Number two, Biggie threatened me first. I never threatened her. When Natalie asked me my opinion, I gave my opinion, and I didn't even want to give my fucking opinion.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then I only responded because Biggie got on the internet popping it and saying, yeah, and when I see you, you can get smacked too. So when a bitch tell me...
I don't know why Biggie talks so tough.
You ain't gotta tell nobody to get me.
Baby.
You ain't gotta tell no bitch to get me.
Baby, she said...
When Biggie said... And I love Biggie. I love Biggie to death. You know, Biggie, you my bitch. I love you. Now, at this point, we 3 years later.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like... If you say that you're going to put your hands on me when I see you, it's up and it's stuck. It's like that because don't you ever think that you're going to disrespect me in front of the world. And when I see you, it's going to be something different. If you say that you're going to put your hands on me, bitch, you better put your motherfucking hands on me when you see me.
Why was Gretchen a non-black person? I don't know what the hell she is, but I'm going to say a non-black person. And I'm asking you because I wasn't on the show. Why was Gretchen, a non-black person, allowed to say the N-word, go off on a tangent, not give two flying about saying it, have all the black women, predominantly all the black women, seemingly upset, fighting her, allowed to stay on the show, but we have two beautiful black queens, Slim and the other girl, I can't remember her name. Dia, sent home because they were boring. Can you add some light, please?
Well,
production like controversy.
That's a production question. I don't work in production. I don't work in production. But if I had to give you my honest opinion, even outside of whatever it was that me and Gretchen got into, if I had to remove myself and just give you strictly black and white from my vantage point, because you have a black woman and a non-black woman arguing about something that is very controversial, and tensions are rising and it's causing somewhat of a divide with the cast. And this is something that is going to make great TV and it's going to be very conversation worthy. And so I think for that reason, they kept her. I can't speak for production. This is literally my opinion from my perspective as someone that fought her. That was involved in the situation. I think me personally, because I gotta say me, nobody else. No. Yeah. Nobody said this. This is my own opinion, guys. But I really think that it was just for the ratings. I think that when it came down to it, I'm me and she's her. I'm a black woman that don't play that nigga shit, and she's a Hispanic woman that is allowed to say nigga within her community or with her friends or you know whatever, and her kids got a black daddy. Okay. So I'm telling. So I think that and now all that shit don't even matter. But I think that when production caught wind of everything that's going on, it's like, okay, these bitches is going at it behind some real life shit. Yeah. Let's see how far it goes.
It was real. And no, that scene was intense. Like I said, predominantly not all the black women, but a lot of the black women were on that with her. And it seemed like in one take she cared, and then in another take she didn't. And she was going off on a tangent saying, I don't give a fuck, nigga. And I'm like,
nigga.
Yeah, it was.
And you want to know what's so crazy? You want to know what?
She's scrolling through her phone.
Okay, I took a screenshot of this the other day. This was on March 30th. What did it say who followed me on Instagram?
Not you pulling up receipts. Ciao.
Gretchen, why did you follow me on Instagram? I saw you follow me the other day. Why did you follow me?
Friend, I'm going to tell y'all right now, and this is why another reason why I couldn't be Mona Simone on this interview. Let me tell you, this is not okay.
Gretchen, why did you follow?
It's not okay. If you are non-black, I understand that some communities are in a space where not around, maybe they are around blacks and blacks allow it or whatever the case may be, but that doesn't speak for every black person.
Right.
Okay. And if you are around a black person that finds that feels that using those words are very disrespectful, offensive, then you need to shut the fuck up. Period. There's no explanation. Oh, well, when I'm in my hood, this and that and the third. None of that does not matter because you are not in your hood right now. That is not okay.
And so can I actually tell you how this started? Because a lot of people don't know the backstory behind this.
Okay.
So when we first got to the Caribbean, Gretchen actually ate breakfast with us a couple of mornings, like, because we had like chefs and stuff that would cook breakfast for all of the girls. Whenever they would wake up, they'll make you whatever you want. And so like I was a girl, or I'm a person that wakes up early in the morning. I'm an early riser. I'm usually one of the first people up. When the girls come down and have breakfast, I'm usually sitting there talking to them, you know, whatever, just chilling at the kitchen table, eating my food with whoever else is down there. Usually it would have been like me and Sapphire. We would always go down and get breakfast together. And so a few times Gretchen was down there and she was cool. I knew that she had 3 kids. She's a Cancer. She's from Florida. She was cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no issue with her. And that day in particular, so they had us in 2 separate houses, but not because there was an issue, but because it was just so many of us. So we had the main house, and then in front of the main house, there was like a second house, like a guest house. And so in the guest house is where Meatball, Gretchen, and I think Slim and Dia were staying. Okay. They were staying in that guest house, and then like me, Sapphire, Natalie, Roelly, and Biggie, and whoever else.
Yes.
Whatever. And so Meatball and Gretchen had been into it.
And she was calling her a nigga.
Gretchen was calling her all types of niggas. Nigga this, nigga that, fuck you, nigga. Like calling her a nigga. Yeah. Not just saying, oh, but you know my nigga. Not just saying nigga casually in conversation. Yeah. She had been calling her a motherfucking nigga.
Yeah.
So when we all were in that living room, and if you notice, when Gretchen and Meatball came in, they immediately started fighting, and we didn't know what the we hear Gretchen, nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that. We still don't know about all the niggas that she had called her in the house. We only know about the niggas that she's calling Meatball in front of us.
Yeah.
It's so much going on. If you go back and watch that episode. Gretchen was calling Meatball all types of niggas, and that's when I said, you can't be saying nigga like that. Are you black? And she was like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So in that moment, for me, I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck about nobody going around saying nigga. You say it as much as you want to, but there's a level of respect that you have to have for people that don't feel comfortable with you saying it in their presence. And that is where the disconnect came.
Yes.
Because when I said to her, I was like, oh, well, you can't be saying that, you know, you ain't black, and me and the twins kind of, because really it wasn't even me who said it. I think it might have been, I don't know, remember if it was Shannon or Shanae. She was like, did you just say that? And we all kind of looked at each other like, what?
Right.
And when I asked her about it, she was like, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now what you are saying to me is you have a blatant disregard for not only me, but every other black person in this room.
All that.
And your kids, because you have black kids. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
What if somebody was to call one of your kids a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Just because you have made it okay for you to say it, or just because you feel like it's okay for you to say it, you still have to remember you are a non-black woman raising black children, and another non-black person might come out into the world and call your black kids niggas. And now you got to be able to tell your kids, it's just a word. You just got to deal with it. You'll be all right. But no, because it hit different when your skin is melanated, and it hit different when you know how people try to say that word to weaponize or to hurt you. And that was my issue with Gretchen. It wasn't the fact that she said nigga. I didn't care about her saying nigga because I'm not your mama. Say whatever you want to say. But my issue was, we told you that it was a problem or that we weren't okay with it. And you had you had a blatant disregard for our feelings and decided to keep doing it. And then you were doing it to be funny. So since you want to be funny, bitch, I'm going to show you who going to laugh the hardest.
Baby, Gretchen took a bite out of crime, baby. And the moment me came out and said, what the hell? Did you regret doing Baddies Caribbean? Or did you regret fighting this girl? It seemed like she literally took a chunk of your skin off. What was going through your mind?
Well, it wasn't that she took a chunk of my skin off. When she bit me, her mouth was very nasty. And so when I had to get a tetanus shot. And when I got a tetanus shot, where she bit me, that area got infected.
Ew.
Because her mouth was so nasty. The wound got infected because she had gingivitis or something. The bitch's mouth was nasty.
I will be messy and ask how many of these bras really got plaque on their teeth, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them do. But anyway, that's just a Wesley moment. We're going to go back to it.
So when she bit me, it was a bad bite, but the bite got worse because it got infected.
That's horrible.
When she bit me, I can show you the pictures. It was kind of like just this at first. But when I went and got that tetanus shot, it got infected because it pushed all of the bacteria out from where her mouth tore my skin. That is what really caused the scarring from it getting infected, because it had gotten so infected, and it literally had gotten so big that one day on set, and spiritual things are like really, really crazy. You know, like wounds and stuff hold like trauma and like energy and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like this thing, it was like right here on the front of my chest. And so I had never had another conversation with her about it, since that happened. And then so when we got to Puerto Rico, you can see in the living room, she said sorry, or, tried to like apologize to me, or like whatever it was. Do you know that after that girl apologized to me, that thing came open and everything just started pouring out of it? Like I literally was in the bathroom with a towel across my chest of pus and blood mixed together, like gunky nasty shit. Literally me squeezing and oozing it out of my chest after the girl like pretty much like said her piece. And I was like, that's just like a whole spiritual thing, because you had all of these emotions, you had all of these things like built up, but the moment she was allowed to express herself, the wound expressed itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
From a different perspective, I'd be going on tangents, but I thought about that. Now it was really crazy to me, but saying that to say, like, the whole situation with Gretchen, I'm not mad at her for using the N-word. If your people allow you to do that, and if that's what is morally okay, and if you think that that's okay, then you go right on ahead and you do that. I'm not here to tell you anything different. The issue was when a group of people, you are not only working on a cast of predominantly black women, you're working with a production company, a network of predominantly black people. I may not have been the only person you offended, but I may have been the person that was the most vocal about it.
Right.
And so that could have easily been a learning lesson for both of us. Because I still feel like there's a conversation that she and I could have. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against that.
That's I'm not sure.
Because I'm not against that, because I feel like both of us kind of like took the rap for that. Like, people don't understand her because she's a non-black woman saying nigga, and nobody never really sat down and have a conversation with her to figure out where you from, why do you feel like it's okay to say that, or when Jela and all those other black people were in your face telling you can't say it, why did you keep saying it? I haven't seen nobody ask her that.
Okay.
And I feel like somebody should ask her that. Just like if I was to sit down and I had, I was having a conversation with her, like I would want to know more about her. My grandmother isn't black. My mother is mixed. My mother has a non-black mother, but I ain't never heard my grandmother say nigga.
Okay.
I ain't never heard. My stepmother is white, which we learned on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
She don't say it. So for me, I come from a biracial background. I come from a mixed family.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm running around trying to be the blackest person or trying to like scream or prove my blackness or anything like that. But at the end of the day and the beginning of the morning, I am a black woman. And when I go out into the world, it don't matter what I'm mixed with.
Yeah.
if I was to go missing tomorrow, if somebody had to give a physical description of me, I'm the black woman with the long brown. I'm a black woman with long brown hair and a white tennis skirt. Baseline.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting into, oh, well, your family's from here, your family's from there, and you got this and you got that. Baseline, I'm a black woman in America, and my kids are gonna be black in America, like I said on Bad Girls Club.
Yes. Because you're gonna marry a black man.
And I'm gonna marry, and I still hold true to that. I'm gonna marry a black man because a black man is the only man I feel like can teach my sons or my children how to navigate this nasty world.
This is not easy, baby. And I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers. This is me talking. This is not Jela. Jela can be PC. I'm gonna be me. Okay, I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers out there want to be all of this. Okay, but this is nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with. Is Anna and Biggie black? Is they mixed? What are they? Because they like to use the N-word a lot.